Our guest of the evening this week, as you've probably seen from the notices, is the one and only Alex Campbell. Alex needs no introduction to this or any other club. He's one of the Wheel Kent faces of the folk scene, and in fact one of the Wheel Kent voices. So would you welcome, please, back to the St Andrews Club, Alex Campbell.
Hello. My goodness gracious me. Come up from Glasgow today. Didn't think we were going to make it actually. It was full of fog and everything. The stagecoach was running late. Reminds me of the first time I ever got a gig abroad, you know. It's years ago now. It was in a place called Little Piddlington on the Hull, down in England. And I got this gig. Gone to the stagecoach at St George's Cross. Got down to the borders, changed my stones and shells for the paper money they've got down there in England. And I said to this fellow, I said, "Excuse me, sir, can you tell me the way to Little Piddlington on the Hull?" Listen, I'm only drinking Coca-Cola, I'm not even started yet. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with what I was going to tell you. Hang on. You know what this sounds like? This is the voice of God. Yeah, I'm going to start off the song that you can all join in. As you know, I travel all over the place. And no matter where I go, people join in the chorus. Now, people in the melody maker and all that are always asking me, "Alex, why is it no matter where you go, even St Andrews, away up yonder, no matter where you go, people join in the chorus?" Well, it's an old professional's trick that I have. I wear what's called audience joining in clogs. Now, it's marvellous. You've only got to kick the teeth down a couple of people's throats, and everybody starts singing like hell, even if they don't know the words, they start miming, you see. So I don't want you to have to mime. This song is a song that I learnt from an old buddy of mine, Daryl Adams, back in the old days. Now it's getting easier. Working in chain gangs and that I was. Now, you know, it's very difficult to play the guitar, if you let me. It's even more difficult to play the guitar and the mouth organ together at the same time. Those of you who have heard Bob Dylan will understand this. I remember when I was doing a show, when Bobby was doing the last show he did with me, I said to the kid, I said, "Listen, why don't you learn to play the same tune in your mouth organ as you're playing in your guitar?" I said, no, now if you just learned that, look where it would have gone to. Anyway, if you like this number, I may as well tell you it's from my latest LP, which came out in 1962. Run down to your local record dealer and you'll be sure he's not got the bloody thing in. You know, I was over there in Antwerp and I got sick. So I'd been drinking too much whiskey, you know, for the last 25 years, which is hard because I'm only 23. Anyway, and they went me off to the hospital. And you know, they take blood out you and all that, and they feed you through your veins, you know, when you're sick. And you got bottles hanging up there, and every hour when you're trying to get sleep, they come and shiggle you awake and take blood out your arm, and then your arm turns all black and blue, and it's full of holes. It looks awful, and I just got out of the hospital. I went into the pub. It's a Scotch pub over in Antwerp. And I says to Bruce, I says, "Bruce, I'm sorry, I can't drink any more whiskey." I said, "Would you look what they done to me in the hospital?" And a policeman from the drug squad arrested me right away. It's true, he thought I was a drug addict. I said, "No, I've just been given pints of blood." But this is all of which nothing to do with the song. Oh yes, it has, because there's blood in the song. And the song will teach the chorus. It's called "Roll On, Buddy, Roll On." And the chorus goes like this: "Roll on, buddy, roll on. Roll on, buddy, roll on. See, Americans are very thick. You've got to repeat everything all the time, you know. But then you get a hard bit for those of you who are university students. Wouldn't roll so slow if you knowed what I know. Singing roll on, buddy, roll on. There you are. No bother at all. It's that empty. I feel like I'm singing in a church, you know. I can see wide open spaces. Onward, Christian soldiers, coming to you from St Andrew's Kirk in the header. Hi. Wait a minute, I do know this song. I will start. Roll on, my buddy, roll on. Roll on, buddy, roll on. Wouldn't roll so slow if you knowed what I know. Singing, roll on, my buddy, roll on. I've got a gal in Tennessee. I've got a gal in Tennessee. I've got a gal back in sunny Tennessee, and she's waiting there for me. You're bet now. I said, roll on, buddy, roll on. Roll on, buddy, roll on. Wouldn't roll so slow if you knowed what I know. Singing, roll on, my buddy, roll on. Tampy wants a $9 show. Tampy wants a $9 show. She comes running on the hill with the $15 bill, singing, baby, where you been so long? No chorus. Oh, honey, where you been so long? Honey, where you been so long? I've been in the pen with them rough and rowdy men. That's where I've been so long. Roll on, buddy. Roll on, buddy, roll on. Roll on, buddy, roll on. Wouldn't roll so slow if you know it for that low. Singing, roll on, my buddy, roll on. Don't you never trust a railroad man. Never trust a railroad man. A railroad man, he will kill you if he can, and he'll drink down your blood like wine. It's disgusting, isn't it? Roll on, buddy, roll. Oh, roll on, buddy, roll on. Wouldn't roll so slow if you know what I know. Singing, roll on, my buddy, roll on. I'm getting started. I'm getting there, thank you. Honestly, it's terrible, isn't it? You know, it's even worse playing a guitar and a mouth organ, or a mouthy as it's called in Glasgow, when you've got a moustache, because you get caught down at this end when you're trying to go up at that end. And when you've got false teeth, it's murder Polish, I'll tell you. I remember the first gig I got down in England, I tell you, it was a knockout, raving success. There was 12 people there, including 2 girl guides and the vicar. And of course, in the Melody Maker the next week, the headline says, Alex Campbell knockout raving success at Little Piddlington on the Hull. And the result of that, I got a booking at a place called the Fairfield Halls in Croydon. Now, you've never seen anything like the Fairfield Halls in Croydon. The stage itself is 5 times as big as this whole place here. That's the stage. You walk onto the stage and you've got wee men sitting up there with lights and they go right onto you. And you do your sexy Gary Cooper walk across the stage, you know. And not like here, the microphones aren't set up like here. They're in the stage. And as you walk towards the stage, a whole bank of microphones come up out the stage like that, 5 of them, and then you just arrive there and you start singing, see? Trouble is, if you walk forward too quickly, you know, so if you see any people come in here like this, you'll know they've been singing at the Bayview halls and crying. Anyway, there I was, and there was 2,000 of these English people there, and I'm singing like a linty. Well, maybe not like a linty, but I was singing anyway. And I shouted, "Come on, join in!" Because they weren't singing, you see. And lo and behold, in front of 2,000 people, my false teeth went pop, straight up into the air. I was getting embarrassed, I'll tell you. But being a professional, you see, I caught the bloody things before they landed, you know. And do you know that English audience loved me? They loved me. All I could hear from all over the hall was, "Oh, well held, sir. Well held." Oh, yeah. By God, they could use me out in Australia. Anyway, just to prove that you must realize that, as I say, I'm getting older now. I'm 23. And I'm the last of the Delta pickers. I mean, do you realize if I walk out here tonight and get run over by an St Andrews Corporation bus, oh, you think that's bad? I remember one night, honestly, it was really, you know how sometimes you go on these tremendous tours? It's true, you do. Like high-speed grass have been just under a ton from a successful tour of Denmark. None of mine are ever bloody successful, but I go anyway, you know, and it was one of them tours. And it was kind of nice. Either that or I was very drunk. But the place looked packed. That's one reason why folk singers drink a lot. Do you realise if I was paralytic, I could see 4 of each of every one of you, and I'd go home tonight and say, "It was smashing, it was full to the brim." But anyway, yeah. There I was in Amsterdam. We had about 2,500 people. It was a big, big hall. And people were singing and laughing and clapping their hands. And, oh, it was a great night. My heart was full of emotion as I said goodnight to them all, you know, and I said how much I loved the people of Amsterdam, you know, and I was in bloody Copenhagen, would you believe it? Not even the wrong city, the wrong country as well, you know. Oh, it's terrible. What was I going to tell you about? Oh, yeah. But since, you see before you tonight, the last of the Delta pickers, any of you younger folk singers like Fraser or Jimmy or Hutchie or anybody like that, want to pick up a few tips here. This is the old Delta blues type guitar playing, which, as I say, if I get killed by a St Andrews Corporation bus tonight, you'll have seen the last of the Delta pickers. I was born in the Delta of the River Clyde, and you don't see guitar picking like this much anymore. You said, thank God. Here we go. Fantastic, isn't it? Now this here is the story of the Rock Island Line. As everybody knows, the Rock Island Line runs between Glasgow and Edinburgh, through the plantations of the happy English slaves, singing away in the sunshine there. If you've ever travelled between Glasgow and Edinburgh, you'll know sunshine's a funny bloody bit. I want you to imagine a train coming down the track. It's got Engineer McPherson aboard. He comes up to the old toll gate, he sticks his head out the window and he shouts, "Howie McGregor." McGregor says, "Aye." He says, "Can I come on through with my train?" He says, "Oh, that depends upon what you've got aboard, Janet." So the man tells him, he says, "I've got pigs, I've got coos, I've got sheepy mess, I've got haggises, I've got sporns, I've got bagpipes, I've got all livestock, I've got all livestock." Good. The wee man comes out his signal box, runs down the stairs, pushes the gate open, and the train goes on through. The train begins to pick up speed. train picking up speed. Actually, it's just me playing a guitar. But once he's sure he's past the old toll gate, I made that funny but up myself. Once he's sure he's past the old toll gate, he sticks his head out the window and he shouts, I fooled you, I fooled you. I've got all Scotch whiskey, all Scotch whiskey, all Scotch whiskey. Now we come to the hard bit. New the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is a road to ride. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. If you want to ride it, got to take it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. That's in Gaelic. Very good. A, B, C, W, X, Y, Z. The lassies in St Andrews all dig me. I made that one up as well. Oh, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line, she's the road to ride. The Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. If you want to ride it, got to take it like you find it. Get your ticket at the station for the Rock Island Line. I was doing a show once, you know, and there was 37,000 people there. I know you don't believe me, but this was over in Denmark, in a place called Roskilde, and I had a couple of groups on with me, called the Kinks, the Who, and the Sha-Na-Na. And I'll tell you quite honestly, they were rotten at folk music, they really were. Anyway, I noticed how to play the guitar, because I was watching. You're never too old to learn, even at my age. And I was watching, and you can always tell when these pop musicians and rock musicians are playing really hard, intricate music, beautiful music, because they sugar their hair like that, you know. And that means it's very, very intricate music, you know. Everybody goes, and then you're supposed to go, wow. You see? The trouble is, the whole group does it at the same time. It's like a bloody snowstorm on the stage, you know. But you know, I'm no like that at all. I mean, I believe in traditional folk songs and that, you know, like the old songs that were handed down from generation to generation, like songs like the one that my mother taught me when we were in Danlin on her knee, same key, but. Bless my soul, I always knew St Andrews was a highly traditional club. I remember years ago I made a record called Yours I, Alex Campbell. And on this record was a wonderful song called Rounding the Horn. And it's a song about a gallant ship. All ships were gallant. And it leaves Plymouth and it sails all the way across the ocean. So it comes to Valparaiso and they lose 2 men over the side. And then they're icebound, and then they go and fire near Tierra del Fuego, and they put that out. And they get ruined, and then they get up the coast, and they catch 5 whales and lose 3 or 4 more men, and then the cabin boy gets pregnant, and about verse 37 they get back to Plymouth, which is a brilliant song, and I'd like to sing a version of it called Rounding the Horn, which I learned recently. It's not quite the same one, but it goes like this. A gallant ship, the Amphitrite, it sunk in Plymouth Sound. Now, the next song I'd like to do is slightly different. You may notice, for instance, some singers coming up here and covering up their ear when they're singing. I was working with Dominic Bain and years and years ago, and I says to Dominic, I was telling this story at the Cambridge Festival last year, and I'd just come on after Martin Carty, and I was doing my wee bit, and I was explaining to the audience, I says to Dominic, why? And Dominic says to me, I said, Dominic, why do you cover up your ear when you're singing these folk songs? And Dominic says, sure now, I don't like half the bloody things I'm singing anyway. Which raised a little laugh. Then I suddenly realised that Martin Carty had been on before me and been singing like this. I don't know if that means anything. But anyway, I'm great at... this song is slightly different. And in other words, I don't know what I'm going to sing, but I'm going to sing a wee song of my own, in actual fact. And, I was flying in from Amsterdam there to do a show in Liverpool, and I've got a Gibson guitar, a J200. It's a very expensive guitar. They cost about £470, and mine was in the hold of the aircraft, And I got to the gig. The customs didn't open it or anything. I got to the gig, and there was this guitar that had taken me about 3 years of my life paying up, to buy in bits and pieces. So I was very upset about it, very heartbroken. But on the wall in the house, I've had this guitar, which I got back in 1957. She was made in 1927, and she's an old Gibson guitar, very old indeed. Very hard to play, the strings are hard to hold down. But we did a lot of busking together, travelled a lot, and I made a song up, used an old tune, an Irish tune that you all know, put some of my own words to it, and I called it my old Gibson guitar. I'll tell you why I wrote this. One night I'd finished work, and a wee lassie came up to me and she says, Mr. Campbell, that was very good. She says, what do you do for a living? And so I decided to try to explain. Some people, they say I don't work, boys. My life is all leisure and ease. And it's true that I ramble around, boys, drink whiskey and do as I please. But I've worked all over this country, know most of the jobs that there are. But I like best to sing is my folk songs and play my old Gibson guitar. Well, I have worked on a farm, boys. I've helped to forest the hill. I've been a white-collar worker, boys. In the factory I've worked with a will. Yes, I've worked all over this country, and I've even worked in a bar. But I like best to sing is my folk songs and play my old Gibson guitar. Education, boys, so politics aren't for me. I just want a life for my family, boys, in a world where they're equal and free. I hope for a great day that's coming, without hatred and killing and war. And perhaps I might even be helping as I play my old Gibson guitar. I love it when you start a song and there's one string out of tune all the way through and you're crunching every time you're playing it. Here's a love song. Over in Germany and places like that, I say, since this is a love song, I want all you young men to take the hand of the nearest young lady. And then I say, if you're English, you can take the hand of the nearest young man. And everyone laughs like hell. I think that's terribly funny. And if you tell it down in England, I think it's even funnier. And this is a song I learned from Pete Seeger. Pete Seeger's an American folk singer. And he's awfully good. Plays banjos and everything. And teaches songs. And he taught me this one. It's a love song. My sweetheart's a mule in the mines. I drive her without any lines. On the bumper I sit, and I chew and I spit all over my sweetheart's behind. Now, you know, I like these wee songs, you know, because they're not so much trouble to learn all them words, you know. You know, we in Glasgow, we've got a kind of sense of humour that's different. We like big ballads, but we like them short. You know, songs like tragedies, like Who farted wee Geordie, day again, son, I canny, God bless your wee bum. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, that's what the Waynes sing in Glasgow, and that's the cleaner version. Anyway, you know, I would love to sing you some children's songs, but I didn't sing children's songs to adults. They're far too pornographic. Have you heard what the Waynes sing? That one about King Farouk, that one about the ball that they had in Kirriemuir back, yeah. Do you feel like singing? That's what I like, is 100% apathy. Up it to me, oh, hang on, I'll just get my jacket off. This is one that I learned from my granny, how to take your jacket off in front of an audience. My granny was in the business as well, you know. All the dames in France do the karaoke dance, crying, hi, Nelly, Nelly, from your dirty name, Nelly, close to mine. Ta-da! First time I've ever seen one that's pregnant doing it as well, eh? It's dreadful, like, you know, the doctor says, Alex, oh, well, anyway, he says, I've got to get help, but it's terrible. Food, that's what does it. There's always some funny man in the audience always comes up to me and pats my belly and says, what are you going to call it? How original can you get it? I say, well, if it's a wee boy, I'll call it after the late King George. If it's a wee girl, I'll call it after the late Queen Victoria. But if it's what I think it is, I'll call it Harold Wilson. Anyway. Or the Queen of England, Edward Heath. Anyway. Oh. There's going to be a good spate of songs if Margaret Thatcher becomes Prime Minister. Oh, my God. Bought a wee wife in Edinburgh for a bobby. I got a fudgy bag and came to buy tobacco away. And with you, and with you, and with you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up my shin with you, my Johnny lad. On the Royal Tour of Glasgow, you should have seen the Queen playing at the football with the lads in Glasgow Green. And with you, and with you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up my shin with you, my Johnny lad. Now Samson was a mighty man, he fed and fish and chips. He strolled along on Gallagher just picking up the nips. And with you, and with you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up my shin with you, my Johnny lad. Samson was a mighty man, he fought with cut his jaws. He won a score of battles wearing crimson flannel drawers. And for you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up machine for you, my Johnny lad. Now Napoleon was an old emperor, he ruled the land and sea. He was king of France and Germany, but he never ruled Normandy. And for you, and for you, and for you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up machine for you, my Johnny lad. Now the Queen was no, your Duke was in the counting house, stealing Scotland's money. The Queen was in the parlour, and we're not too sure what she was up to with her honey. My husband and I. Actually, you do know, of course, they sing it different in Glasgow, the Waynes, they sing it. Queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The Duke was in the chambermaid and she was in the money. And for you, and for you, and for you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up machine for you, my Johnny lad. Aye, Johnny is a bonny lad, he's a lad of mine. I've never had a better yen than I've at 29. And for you, and for you, and for you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up machine for you, my Johnny lad. And for you, and for you, and for you, my Johnny lad, I'll dance the buckles up machine for you, my Johnny lad. Hell yeah, very good. Now when we're at it and we're all singing. Starts with the chorus, it's one you all know. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round, now all together. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing home to mingle it. What care we the white mentions? What care we, boys, for wind or weather? Turn her head round and we'll anchor safely home, home and mingle it. Yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round, now all together. Yo-ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to mingle it. Waves are waiting by the harbour, bairns are laughing from hills of heather. Turn her head around towards our homeland, afore the sun sets on mingle it. Hail ya home, boys, let her go, boys, bring her head round, now all together. Hail ya home, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to mingle it. Yeah, I know, I'm just letting that young man with the beard out. That's all right. You in dire trouble. It's right up at the back here, called bar. This is folk music, there's two different things in folk music. And the great thing about folk song clubs is the joining in. And you join in two ways. You join in by singing the chorus, if there is a chorus. And of course you join in by listening as well, when sometimes a singer's singing a ballad or something like that. But since it looks like it's, what's going on in there? 3 Englishmen have got in there. Oh yeah. Look out, son. Instead of doing what I was going to do, I'm going to kind of finish with a Woody Guthrie song, finish this with a Woody Guthrie song. Years ago, Woody Guthrie said in his book, Bound for Glory, I don't want to hear the sound of a voice that sounds like the dewdrops on the roses. He says, I want to hear a voice like the ash cans I clattering in the gutter in the morning. Since I've got a voice like that, it's kept me going all these years. And so, see, as one dear, delightful Glasgow critic once said about me, he says, Alex Campbell, he can sing nane, which is a Glasgow expression, or the other thing is Billy Connolly. Him, I knew his father. It's really wonderful, Anyway, this is the Woody Guthrie song. It's to the tune of the Wildwood Flower, which was a great Carter family country song. And Woody took the tune and wrote a song about the first American battleship to go down during the war, called the Reuben James. Now, the Reuben James actually was sunk before America entered the war. It was when they started the convoy duties, bringing the ships, the convoys halfway across the Atlantic when the British Navy would pick them up. And in those days, the Reuben James was sunk. Have you heard of a ship called the Good Reuben James? Man by hard fighting man of both story and fame. She flew the stars and stripes on the land of the free, but now she's in her grave at the bottom of the sea. Now what was their names? Tell me what was their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What was their names? Tell me what was their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? It was there in the dark of that uncertain night. We watched for them U-boats, we waited for the fight. Then the thunder and the flash and the great explosions roar, we laid that Reuben James on the cold Atlantic floor. Now what was the names? Tell me what was their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What was their names? Tell me what was their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? Now tonight there are lights in our city so bright. I've forgotten the words. And now our mighty battleships will steam the bound in main, and remember the name of the Good Reuben James. Try this, what were their names? What were their names? Tell me what was their names? Did you have a friend on the Good Reuben James? What was their what were their names? Did you have a friend on the good Reuben James? Thank you. You know, I'm very glad Jamie Hutchins sung that song there, because I was just going to sing it myself. That's the one I was going to start off with, you know. But instead, I'll do another wee song instead. This song, this is a song in which everyone can join in. It's a song by Woody Guthrie again. Finish with the Woody Guthrie song. I'll start off with the Woody Guthrie song. Children's song. Woody Guthrie loved children. He must have done. He had about 7 or 8 of them. It's got a very easy chorus, which will teach you all. What brought it to mind was one of the times I was singing in here, there was a car rally arrived, which is one of the staging posts. The place was full of people that never heard a folk song before. But they all joined in this one quite enthusiastically. It's an awful easy song to sing. This is the chorus. Riding in my car. You got that? Well, I know the front row's got it here. I'll try to spray back as far as I can. It's quite simple. You put your lips together and you go. The first one who goes is out the door. We'll have no critics here, and it's an opportunity for each and every one of you here tonight to intermingle your own personal diseases with every other one, and who knows, we might come up with the St. Andrew's flu, send it back to Hong Kong and decimate the yellow peril. Hell yeah, never mind. Song goes with this. Well, come for a ride in my car, car. Come for a ride in my car, car. Come for a ride in my car. That's my bit. Just wait. Car, car, a riding in my car. Now. Riding in my car. Oh, there's no doubt about it. You're a shower of boobles up here. Well, I'm gonna ride in the front seat. You're gonna ride in the back seat. Front seat, back seat of my little old motor car. Now. Riding in my car. I'm gonna blow the horn now. I'm gonna let you blow the horn. Oh, that's a difficult one. Riding in my car. Riding. Again, I can see you all because the lights are on. I can see that lady sitting there. She's sitting there like this. I paid 40p to get in here tonight. I'm not going to go. Bloody Margaret Thatcher supporters everywhere. Of course, it's all changed since Woody Guthrie's days when he wrote this song. Nowadays, folk singers get paid money. I hope. The result is that Archie Fisher's got a rover that's seldom silver. Bob Dylan has 17 Cadillacs. The Corries have got 2 Rolls Royces. And the Mercedes-Benz for the Doug. Hamish Himlock's got a Sherman tank. Scotland's biggest folk group. But I don't really care. If you go outside to your playground, oh sorry, I thought it was a university gig. Wait, hang on, if you go outside to the car park, you'll see That red Ferrari, that is mine. £10,985 I paid for it, and it is mine! Mind you, it's cunningly disguised as a 1954 Morris 1000. And so the next time you're on the motorway and you see a Morris 1000 1954 passing you at 300 miles an hour, you can say, "You, Alex!" Because it'll be me. So nowadays, as folk singers, we sing it something sort of like this. Come for a ride in my Ferrari. Come for a ride in my Ferrari. Come for a ride in my Ferrari. My little old £10,985 motor car. Riding in my car, everyone's singing. Come for a ride in my car, car. Come for a ride in my car, car. Come for a ride in my car, car. A riding in my car. Oh yeah. You know, it's funny how when you travel, different people like different songs. In Denmark, I don't know if you've been to Denmark, but they don't need women's liberation in Denmark. You know how, because when women get liberated, they burn their brassiers. And, well, they can't do that in Denmark because the women over there don't wear brassiers. And, you know, if you go to the walking street in Copenhagen, it's like being at Wimbledon, you know. And yeah, you see these lasses walking up and down the street, and some of them are going, you know, and some of them are going a wibble, a wobble, a wibble, a wobble, and some of them are going ba-doing, ba-doing. And I remember one night, I just finished, you know, how you make these faux pas. I'd been singing to the Danish people, and I'd said during the course of the evening, I said, "Hang on, ladies and gentlemen," I said, "I'm just going to bring my pick out." Now, how was I to know that's what it's called in Denmark, you know? I'd never been there before. And then everybody laughed when they saw my pick. I don't know whether it was the size of it or the shape of it or what. And at the end of the night, a little Danish lady came up to me. I knew she was Danish. Wibble bubble, wibble bubble. She came up to me and she says, that's Danish for ha ha, you know. She went to me, she says, "Mr. Campbell," she says, "with picks like that," she says, "how do you make babies in Scotland?" So I showed her. Now the thing is this. The favourite song over there, funnily enough, is an English folk song which goes like this. Standing on the bridge at midnight, trying to piss upon the moon. They think that's very funny. I bet you'd have tried it. Well, boys, I'm on you, don't try it because you get it straight back in your eye. I tried it one night when the wind was in the wrong direction. Hell yeah. But you know, don't worry, I only get here every 4 years, you know. I can see panic-stricken looks in their face. We're going to hear him again. But the thing is this, you know, I'd like to sing a song called the Pig Song. I love animals. I've got a dog called Dougal. Yeah, he's a lovely wee dog. He's the only, I got him off Archie Fisher's mother about 9 years ago. And he's a cross between a long-haired Dachshund and a Border Collie. We don't know how they managed, but managed it they did. And lo and behold, Dougal was born. And he's the only dog in the whole of Scotland that's got Queen Anne legs. I'm going to sell him for an antique. He's like one of these wee dogs, willy dogs that you stick up on the mantelpiece, you know. Only ours is alive and it bites. It's a great wee thing. which has got nothing to do with what I was going to sing. Yeah, I was going to sing your song. Oh yeah, the pig song. This is for any farmers or people around here. I recorded this song too. It was early last September, as near as I remember. I was walking down the street in tipsy pride. No one was I disturbing, as I lay down by the curbing, and a pig came up and lay down by my side. As I lay there in the gutter, thinking thoughts I could not utter, a lady passing by was heard to say, you can tell a man what booze is by the company he chooses. And the pig got up and slowly walked away. Oh yeah, thank you. You know, it's a dreadful thing if you're in this business and you come from Glasgow, because everybody steals everybody else's jokes, you know. If you go into a place after somebody and you start telling a joke, you find, Hamish told us that one last week. You're stealing Hamish's material. Oh, that's Billy Connolly's. And all that. Actually, they all came from me in the first place. Right round here, and it says the one right at the very end on your left-hand side. He's like me, he's in the pudding club as well. Very good. These rotten sons that I've got, they put aspirins in instead. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a wee joke which I stole from Hamish Imlach, who in turn stole it from Billy Connolly, who in turn stole it from Danny Kyle, who in turn stole it from me. And it's a true story. You may notice that Jimmy Hutchison and me have got clogs on. These come from the Baltic, actually. These are just fishermen's clogs. I got them on the island of Bornholm. If I'm right, Jimmy Hutchison's clogs comes from Yorkshire, the old Yorkshire clogs. To get the real ones, so now it's a dying art, so there's only very few people making them. They're very expensive. But this fellow, down in Ant and Simpson's in Argyll Street in Glasgow, one window, they're just this lovely pair of clogs in the window. £40, handmade clogs, for Italy, £40. He says, oh, I want them. So he went to the bank, got out all his money, got the clogs, put them on, £40. There you are, Jimmy. Everybody in Glasgow's called Jimmy, you know. There you are, Jimmy. There's your 40 knicker. Puts on his clogs. Doesn't want them wrapped up or anything. Puts them straight on and he walks up Argyll Street. And everybody's looking at him and saying, hey, look at that man with his new clogs on. Oh, look at them smashing clogs that man's got on, you know. Oh, and he was loving it. Because he'd always wanted a pair of clogs like these folk singers, you know. And he got home, and his wife was watching the television, and his calmly strolled past in front of his wife, right in front, between her and the television with his new clogs on. And she was done like that, you know, paying no attention at all. So he goes into the bedroom, and he takes off all his clothes, strips stark naked except for his clogs. And he walks back in again, and he walks in front of the television with his new clogs on. Walks back again, and she's sitting going like this, you know, and she's saying, it was tilted out, bloody Coronation Street was on, you know, she was watching. He says, for heaven's sake, woman, he says, have you not noticed anything about me, anything new about me? And she says, no, she says, it's still hanging down there as usual, you know. He says, it's not hanging down, it's pointing at my new clogs, he says. His wife looked at him and says, that's all right. She says, well, come back when you get a new hat. Now, dreadful bloody stories, aren't they? Anyway. This song... This is another song. This is another song I made years ago. I think if any of you ever got around to making a song, it's all right singing it yourself, but it's really wonderful when other people dig a song enough to want to sing it or record it. And people as diverse in the folk world as Sandy Denny, the Spinners, Bert Jans, Colin Milkin, Shirley Harp. They've all recorded this song. And it's a peace song. It was a good song. It was banned in the BBC for 4 years, so it must be fairly good. It's got an easy chorus. A very, very simple chorus. I wrote it in a simple style so that Americans could sing it as well. And I called the song that I've been in. I hope there's no big American in here, I've been on the road so long. The chorus is just 2 words if you like to sing them with me. I've been on the road so long, been tired and broke. I've been to the south, where the winds they were warm, traveling the road of no return so long. And I've seen what was war so long. And the scars so long, the mansions of mud, the wounds and the blood. I've seen the dying of all that was good so long. Still this world in a shroud so long. There's this mushrooming cloud so long, and the lies and the greed of the leaders of man, those who would take us to war again so long. But most everywhere I've gone, I've found goodness from people, love from people. The young men today are different from what our generation was. I've had children of my own, so I made this next verse. Hope lives in me so long. It's love that I see so long. It's the courage and strength in the young man's smile. It's the faith that's in the smallest child so long. Yes, I've been on this road so long, tired and broke so long. I've been to the south, where the winds they were warm. I'm traveling this road of no return so long. It's amazing. It's amazing how the scene changes in Scotland. I went into the bar downstairs and there was a colour television there for everyone to look at. A dartboard. Mind you, civilization like that hasn't reached Glasgow yet. Can you imagine a pub with a dartboard in it? Everybody was throwing bloody darts at each other, you know. Darts sticking at your eyes and all of it. You know, they play that darts game in England. I remember I was in the pub one night in England, you know, just waiting to go up to the folk club. And there was a big darts match on, you know, and they're all playing this darts and that, and very, very big deal. And suddenly there was a complete silence throughout the whole pub. This very handsome fellow walked in the door. He looked something like me myself, you know. And he had a suit on, you know. You could see he was a champion right away. The whole pub just stopped. He walked over and unbuttoned his jacket. Put his hand inside his pocket, brought out a set of darts. But not any of your plastic cases, no, not your leather it was. Pure leather. Everybody watched him and he took his 3 darts. Complete silence in the whole pub. Then he'd listened to his jig and he was holding it out like that. Never yet. Don't do this to Bob Dylan, you know. Hurry up, that's the stage. Get out. Every eye on the pub was, and it was complete hush. Any mad? Eh? No, okay. No, I'm in the middle of telling my story. Never happened at the Royal Bloody Festival either. Yeah, well, right, there was complete hush throughout the pub. He took his first dart and everyone was watching him. The whole pub went, wow. Second dart and second dart. Wow. He third dart, being a real champion, he just went. Everyone in the pub went. And he walked over with his champion block. And he picked up his darts. Anyway, another wee song to join in the chorus with. As I come in the market, but if I'm in where you're well. Ja, der Elga Zeeland, Tenari, Turenari, Tenari, Tureneland, and loud, loud, and loud, and loud. Ja, der Elga He promised me that war best horse it was in all the country round. When I got to the barn yards, nothing there but skin and bone. Lentenari, Lentenari, Turenay, Lenten, loud and loud and loud in the barn yards at Elgasea. When I get to the kirk on Sunday, money's the bonny lass I see, sitting by her feyther's side and winking out the pews of me. Lentenari, Turenari, Lentenari, Turenay, and loud, loud, loud in the barn yards at Elgasea. Now this song comes from the east coast of Scotland, and I come from the west coast of Scotland. And in the next verse has the word snotter in it. Now I don't know what the snotter is in the east coast of Scotland, but I know what the snotter is in the west coast of Scotland. And I'm not going to sing that next verse because I think it's disgusting. But I'm going to go into the last verse, which is the one coming up now. It's a beautiful verse. I can drink and no be drunken. Oh my goodness gracious me, many times I fell into bed with my shoes on as well. I can fight and no be slain. How do you think I got my false teeth? I can sleep with another man's wife and I be welcome to my inn. Linton to the night, Linton to the night, Linton Lauren, 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 yards of Delgatti. Hell yeah. Thank you. You know, when we were singing in France, back in the old days, we used to sing on the streets in France. I had a marvellous skiffle group called the Haggis Bashers. And we used to, when we got a gig, we used to say, et maintenant, mesdames et messieurs, la voilà les agibachés. And on we would come and agibash anything we could get our hands on, you know. And we used to learn little French folk songs, like songs like Joli tambour, j'en revenais de guerre, joli tambour, j'en revenais de guerre, et revenais de guerre. Songs like that, or songs like et maintenant le commun marché ne marche pas parce que monsieur Harold Wilson il veut donner un référendum. Actually, I made that up myself. That's not really, strictly speaking, traditional. But this is traditional, the song about the colour problem. Oh, the black cat piddled in the white cat's eye. The white cat says, "Oh, blimey." The black cat says, "You silly sod, you shouldn't stand behind me." Well, never mind. Don't worry, I won't get back. That's all right. There's a lovely wee song. I remember Jack Elliott. People always used to laugh, and Jack Elliott would say, "I'd like to sing a lovely song called I'm dancing with tears in my eyes because the girl in my arms is a boy." That's perfectly natural, you know. It's kind of daft, really. That other wonderful one, you know, when I'm coming through the mattress, I'll see you in the spring. But let's not be levitatious about these things. I'm going to sing a wee song written by a lady who lives in Dundee. I think it's the loveliest contemporary song that I know. It's written by Mary Brooks Banks. Very strong song, small 3-verse song. Oh dear me, the mole's going fast. The pair we shifters can't get the rest. Shifting bobbins, curse and fine, the fairly mucky work for your 10 and 9. Oh dear me, I wish the day was done, running up and down the paths isn't fun. Shifting, piecing, spinning, warp often twine, to feed and collate my bairnies up and 10 and 9. Oh dear me, this world provided, them that works the hardest is the least provided. I'm on bide contented, dark days are fine, but there's no much pleasure living